Why do some kids succeed and others fail? Wouldn't it be nice to know the secrets to success? That's coming up next. Hi, I'm Chad Bullock, the founder of Future Proof Kids and the Ready Aim Parent Podcast, where we help you teach kids the skills that really matter in business and life. Today, we're going to talk about the 7 traits of kids most likely to succeed in life. And the first one is they think like entrepreneurs. Whether they become an entrepreneur or not, your kids need to think like entrepreneurs. Now, if they want to become one, there's no better time in history than now. In the past, only the equipment, the technology, the marketing was available to companies with lots of money. But in today's world, the equipment has become so inexpensive and there's so many platforms to reach so many people on the internet that there's no better time in history for our kids to think about becoming an entrepreneur. And the other thing about entrepreneurs is they see opportunities where others don't. Take a bad experience, for example. I remember hearing about an entrepreneur who was checking in his bag at the airport about to go on a trip, and his bag was over the weight limit. Well, he had to pull out 3 or 4 of his heavy shoes because he didn't want to pay the extra 40 or 50 bucks and carry them around the airport with him. And instead of getting really frustrated about that experience, he started thinking, how could I change this for everybody else? Because certainly thousands more are doing the same thing. And it turns out he created this simple luggage bag weigher that you could hook to your luggage before you went to the airport. That's what entrepreneurs think like. They see an opportunity where others might be just complaining on Facebook or Twitter about the experience they just had. Number 2, they ask lots of questions. You remember when your kids were small and they said, "Mom, why are we going to Target?" Because we're returning something. "Why do you want to return it?" "Because I don't like it." "Why don't you like it?" And they go on and on. Well, don't let this stop. Encourage it. And you may be asking me why, because it can be so annoying sometimes. Well, that's because kids who ask lots of questions become better innovators. As a matter of fact, in the corporate world, when we're trying to innovate on something, question storming is a common practice where we try to look at things from a lot of different angles. And kids who ask why, what, when, how, what if questions help us to better innovate on products, processes, customer service, you name it. We need better innovators in our companies because that is what's going to help us grow our sales in the future. Number 3, they talk to people different than themselves. Think about the last party you went to, the last business meeting or corporate event where there were a lot of people. The first thing you probably did was look around the room and look for the people you know that were already there. And then you ran over to talk to them. That's typically what happens. We cling to the people we already know. And there certainly isn't anything wrong with having friends and people we like to associate with. But it's important for us to break out of that circle every once in a while. Otherwise, we'll have a limited point of view. And to be successful in business and to make better decisions in business, we need to be open to other people's perspectives. Because what happens is that diversity in thinking really helps us get through to better, well thought out solutions and answers to problems. And when your kids are able to do this, they're going to become better collaborators and they're going to be seen as leaders when it comes to fostering strong teams. Number 4, they're empathetic. You know, as the world becomes more automated by robots and jobs get outsourced, kids who excel in human relation skills are going to become in high demand, and they're going to get higher paying jobs. But what concerns me is the rise in bullying that's happening in our schools today between kids, especially online where they can hide behind the veil of the internet. It seems kids are losing their empathy and their ability to see things from another person's perspective. And we really need that in business, because kids who are empathetic are going to be more in tune with their teams and working as collaborators. They're going to be more in tune with their customers and help us design better products, help us design better marketing campaigns that really speak to the customers. And then finally, they're going to help us with business processes, because they put themselves in the people's shoes of those who are going to use that process. So empathetic is so important. Number 5, they persevere. This is arguably the ultimate trait that leads to success for our kids. Steve Jobs on a stage one time said, "It's really hard. That's why most people give up." We need to make sure our kids understand that failing is normal. It's a normal part of learning. And fail, as you may have heard, stands for first attempt in learning. Remind them, hey, they'd still be crawling on the ground if they didn't keep trying to stand up and walk. Share with your kids stories of greats who failed over and over again and then finally succeeded. You know, if they like sports, tell them about Michael Jordan. You could talk about Walt Disney and what he did to finally get to Disney World, and Oprah. There's so many others that failed at the beginning and then succeeded in a really big way. Number 6, they're great listeners. We're in a world filled with Instagram and instant message and Snapchat and Twitter and Facebook, and all of these things have brought us closer together in a way, but in a lot of ways it has reduced our human interaction. And listening skills of our youth, I believe, are at risk, and I've seen it in those starting to come into the workforce. And the less human interaction they have, the less they have a chance to practice that skill. Great listeners are important because they understand problems better. They connect with customers on a different level, a deeper level. And I would just start by saying, we need to be the example. Turn our phones off, turn them upside down, turn off the computer, turn the TV off. When our kids are talking to us, let's give them our undivided attention, because what they're talking about, it's important to them, and we can be a good example of how they need to be to others. Finally, teach your kids to listen for the whole message when they're talking to others. And what I mean by that is to teach your kids to listen for the emotion in what people are saying. Because if they don't, they're not really listening to the whole message coming from that person. And they need to understand that before they respond. Number 7, they're open to new experiences. You know, are your kids willing to try new foods, or talk to the new kid in the class, or try different sports, or to try things outside of their comfort zone? Well, it's important for us to give them a little push outside of that comfort zone so they stretch themselves. You know, there's a great quote that I like. It's, "Life begins at the edge of your comfort zone." You think about when your kids get older and they want to apply for or take a new job, that can be a little bit scary or uncomfortable. And you're going to want them to go ahead and push forward. It reminds me of Michael Hyatt. He's the former CEO of Thomas Nelson Publishers, and he's a best-selling author now. He's had a great career. But he's talked openly about when he first became the CEO of Thomas Nelson. He said the first 2 weeks he felt like he didn't know what he was doing. He was terrified people might find out that he didn't know what he was doing. But he did figure it out, and he became a great CEO for them, and he's had a long, fantastic career. But here's why I care about this as a business person. Research shows that kids who are open to new experiences tend to be more creative. And as a business person, creativity is on our top 10 of skills that we want in our employees. Okay, those are the 7 traits of kids most likely to succeed. Now it's time to hear from you. Put in the comments below ideas you have on how we can teach these things to our kids. You know, if we just all put one idea below, we can come together and make each other stronger as a community of parents, grandparents, teachers, working together to raise future-proof kids. Hey, did you like this episode? If you did, there are 3 things you can do right now to continue your journey of future-proofing your kids. First, you can subscribe to our channel, and I hope you will so we can keep sending you helpful videos that help you future-proof your kids with great skills. Second, you can like our Facebook page, where we're always sharing great articles, quotes, and other things about the real skills your kids will need in their future business lives. And third, you can head on over to our website, sign up for our newsletter, where we can send you free offers, free trainings, free podcasts, and anything else we don't do here on this channel. So you can get started by clicking on any of the buttons you see right here, and we look forward to seeing you on the next video. And until then, keep future-proofing your kids.